Hey guys, what's going on there? This is Brody here from Card Tricks for the Ages. I hope you're all doing well. And now, moment of truth. Guess what this video is? I'm just kidding, you know what it is. It's day 3 of 8 days of deck reviews. After today, we're still going to have 5 more days of which you will see these decks reviewed. Today, one of them will be reviewed, and based on the vote in the comment section of day 2, you guys picked the Madison Rounders deck by Ellusionist. So that's what we'll be taking a look at today. And the second place was the carbon copy, Smoke and Mirrors V7 by Dan and Dave. So that will be the deck reviewed tomorrow. And I'll find a different way of deciding what the next 4 days' orders will be. But anyway, let's get rid of all these. We'll see them tomorrow or later than that. You'll see them all eventually. But let's take a look at the Madison Rounders deck by Ellusionist. So, if you don't know, Daniel Madison is a famous magician. He was on Penn and Teller Fool Us. He had a pretty cool trick. He's released some great effects and some great decks. If you have the Player's deck by Daniel Madison, consider yourself lucky. That's a very rare deck. You can still get it off of eBay and some other sites like that, but it's no longer available on Theory11.com. I'm not a big fan of the Player's back design, but the box looks pretty nice, has some good foiling and embossing. But we're not here to talk about that one. We're here to talk about basic, I think this is his second deck, the Rounders deck. This was released, I'm not sure, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 months ago. And it was, I thought it would become a collector's item eventually, but it's not. It's one of those regular decks that they're going to keep producing and producing. But nonetheless, it's a great deck. So let's take a look at some of the details. Taking a look at the box, you get a completely white box, and the texture of the box is a little bit different. It feels like the box, if you look really closely, the box has dimples in it, just like the cards would. On the ace, you can see it. You see those little dots. Those are the dimples that I'm talking about. It goes throughout the box, but you can't see it on white from the camera. Basically, that's not an air cushion finish necessarily, but it's just an interesting new texture. It's a lot more smooth, but you can hear, like, when your fingernail rubs across it, it makes a different sound. Anyway, I'm not sure how to describe it. You'd have to pretty much feel it to know what I'm talking about. You get this spade pip elegant in the middle. It says Madison Rounders, and quality playing cards by Daniel Madison and Ellusionist. It's a collaboration deck, obviously, because Daniel Madison designed it. Sides are blank, which is a nice thing. It's just a really elegant front of the box. Probably one of my favorite boxes, one of the better boxes I've seen around. On the bottom, you get some copyright information that no one ever reads. And on the top, you get something that's covered by a seal, which I really do not like. I wish they did not cover something with a seal. Just put it maybe on the side or something. I don't really care. Or don't even write it. It just says Madison Rounders and whatever's covered there. Seal is pretty cool. You get that same spade pip, except it's inverted. The seal is black, and the spade pip is white. It says Madison Rounders once again. And inside, you get PM and JL on the flap, which I have no idea what that stands for. You get a glimpse of the back design on the back of the box, which is interesting because, as you can see, they made the entire back of the box black. On the cards themselves, this is not a borderless deck, so it's an interesting thing. I don't know why they did this. Maybe just for a little nice touch, and it does. It comes across well. This is a very unique box because of that. But it's not a borderless deck, as you will soon find out. So enough of that. That's the box. It's a really cool one. And let's talk about these cards themselves. So before we get into the cards themselves, let's talk about what you're going to get. You're going to get a double backer, which is pretty cool for some tricks. And you're also going to get an ad card. That's the Ellusionist one. Of course, they change the color for each deck depending on the theme. And this theme is black. Black and dark. Alright, now let's take a look at the jokers. So you're going to get 2 jokers. They're both ravens, and it's standing on a log with a knife. Or not a log. I'm not sure what that is. It's something. And there's a knife right there. And there's a really subtle reveal. It says the Joker at the top, by the way. A really subtle reveal. In the second one, you can see right here, there is a 9 of clubs reveal. It's extremely subtle. So this is not probably a reveal you're going to want to use. See here, it's blank. So it is a reveal. It's probably too subtle, in my opinion, to use. Not a huge fan of the reveal. But it's nice, you know. Ellusionist likes reveals, so I'm not surprised that there was one. But it's just really, really subtle, and you're not going to notice it if you do a trick, and the audience is not likely to be amazed with this reveal, rather than, say, like the Artifice one. Because that one's a little bit more obvious. This one's not at all. You're going to have to really look for it and know that it's there before, if you're going to find it at all. So let's take a look at what else you're going to get. So you've seen the spade pip on the box and on the seal, and you're going to see it again on the ace of spades. Right there, you can see what it looks like. The fonts have not been changed. You get some words here, caveat emptor, which I happen to know means buyer beware, and the U.S. Playing Card Company. So pretty cool looking ace. Very elegant, very simple, but it comes across well. I like it. It works. Aside from that, the reds have become a lot darker. It's a very dark red. It's almost a burgundy, but probably a cross between a burgundy and a red. It is a very dark red. On the court cards, you're going to get some variations, of course, of color. That is to be expected. You can see right there. The colors are different. And also, you'll notice that the faces are very different on every court card. Let's take the 4 queens as an example, but this works with the kings and jacks as well, as I have noticed. I cannot find... Oh, there it is. Alright, I found the 4 queens. Let's take a look. So aside from the color differences between the black and red, you'll notice, look at her face right there. Now look at the next one's face, look at the next one, and look at that. There's a red-haired lady. They're all different, and I'm told that they're supposed to symbolize people from Daniel Madison's life. See the king, they're going to be different, king by king, which is cool. It's a nice touch. It's like the David Blaine's white lines, except this deck has a lot more customized, because that's the only customization the white lions or the split spades really gets besides the ace of spades. And overall, I'm going to give this deck really high ranks in terms of customization, because you can still perform with this deck. That's the brilliant thing. This deck is still very practical to be used. It's not likely to confuse spectators. And the customizations just go along really well with the theme of this deck. I have no complaints whatsoever about anything right now that we've taken a look at. Now let's get to the back design. You can see the back design right here. You got the Madison thing that was on the player's deck, I guess the Madison logo, whatever, and thin borders, and the rest is all black. It works with me. I like the back design. You might not. It might be a little bit too simple. Maybe you don't like the color black. Jody doesn't like it. I'm very sure he doesn't. He's not a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of the thin borders. I love the thin borders. I think they look great in fans and things like that. And I really have no complaints about this deck. I really like it. If you like the color black, just like the executive deck, if you like the color black, you're going to be liking this deck. If you like Daniel Madison, you're going to be liking this deck. Handling is just what you'd expect out of Ellusionist deck. I'm not sure what finish this is. It does not feel like an air cushion, but it does not, I mean, it's very smooth. It's probably a performance finish, because that's what Ellusionist tends to use. And it feels, it's smooth. The handling's great. I haven't noticed any wearing down. I haven't used this too extensively though, so I can't really count for how durable this deck is. The thickness of the stock is average, very average. Right in the middle. This is not one of those thicker stocks. It's not very thin at either though, so it feels very secure in your hands. And I've been very off doing the shapeshifter lately. I need to work on that. I've never had problems doing that. But yeah, if this deck is going to work for you, it's going to definitely, if you're a collector, this is a must. You must get this. If you're a magician, if you want to perform with this deck, I say go for it. If you like it, go for it, buy this deck. Link will be in the description box for the One-Eyed Jack. You can also get it on Ellusionist.com. If you don't like this deck, it's either one of those decks that you're going to like or don't like. I like it. If you don't, there's no need to buy it unless you're a collector. So that's it. Look forward to tomorrow. We're going to be reviewing this one right here. Have fun, everybody. I'm really happy today. I just felt like saying that, getting it out there. See you next time. Bye-bye.